So we are going to start from piping history and products. That in this tea industry, what is the level of piping, what they are offering, where they are offering, whether they are exporting or not, since when they are listed in the stock exchange, how their business is going on, what is their management structure, what is their competition in the market, and everything about piping. Which is, you can say, you are the finance manager of this piping industry, piping company. You are the finance manager of this company. Now you are getting the detail about your own company. Piping was found in 1852. So it's 170 years old company. Very huge, long legacy. 1852, 170 years old company. In Northlandia capital city. So they are established in the capital city of Northlandia. Northlandia's climate is unsuitable for the growth of tea shrubs. Matlab tea plantation will not be possible in Northlandia. So tea manufacturers have always relied on imported tea leaves. So whether it's piping or any company in Northlandia are importing the tea, because they don't have any tea plantation as such. Tea drinking has been part of Northlandia's culture for many years and it remains popular. But in the country, the culture says that the tea drinking is their culture. The company was listed on the Northlandia Stock Exchange in 1974. So around 50 years back, the company already registered. That means listed in the stock exchange since last 50 years. When you are listed for so long period, that means there are so many corporate governance issues may arise. Even though corporate governance is majorly there in strategic level, but basic level corporate governance issues may arise. Achha, before proceeding, 1 second. Second to 5th page. Knowledge about tea industry. The basic theme is pricing, type, sale in market, growth of tea demand in last 7 years or 9 years with forecast for next 4 years. That is, we studied there. The price change, the type of market, the type of tea which is offered, that we studied here. And then they are talking about the piping industry, that is piping company that they established in 1852 in Northlandia. There is no tea plantation in Northlandia, they import their tea only. And in the Northlandia there is a culture of drinking tea regularly. The company was listed in the stock exchange of Northlandia in 1974, 50 years around. Piping has grown steadily. So regularly the company has grown, their business, their revenue has grown up, focusing exclusively on black tea and has been Northlandia's leading tea manufacturer for many years. So they have grown steadily and their major product is black tea. That is processed things, more processing is done. Anything, Ravi, you want to say?
Yes, your internet is breaking.
Yes, because your voice is also breaking.
It's not clear.
Yes, I can understand. But when you all are in UK, how can the internet issue in UK? I always think sometimes when the UK students are there, they say that internet is not stable. It can happen in India. Can it happen in UK?
My one is perfectly all
Yeah,
Because
yes.
your
I've seen that in,
class, the picture clarity.
I have seen
Now,
in the past also, when the students are there from UK, then I found that sometimes they have internet issue. Because in your case, the internet is around 7G, 8, 6G is going. What is that? In India, we have 4G or 5G maximum. 5G is very less places. But at your place, the bandwidth and all that is very good. Still, sometimes issue can arise because it's a technical issue. No problem. You will be able to understand. Wherever you will find problem, I will repeat that. Okay?
thank you, sir.
And has been the Northlandia leading tea manufacturer for many years. So first of all, we are steadily growing. We are mainly dealing in black tea, which is more processing required. And the Northlandia leading tea manufacturer. We are the leader in the industry in Northlandia. Everybody is below us. We are the leader. Piping now produces several varieties of tea, including two of the most popular teas in the country. Piping tea in tea bags and as loose tea. Piping strong flavor in tea bags. We are manufacturing different types of flavors, but these are two our main flavors. One is piping tea. The brand is famous as piping tea, which is tea bags and loose tea also. And one is piping strong flavor in tea bags. This is the tea I am having. This is very good in taste. Very smelling, like whole room is smelling with the tea. I don't know, my wife searched this and then she is bringing for last 1 or odd month.
What is the brand, sir?
नहीं मालूम है सर. Sorry. बस पीने का मतलब है कि it is good in taste, refreshing, very refreshing. So अभी 3 घंटा फिर से लिए refreshing चाहिए.
I'm also fond of tea. So usually,
अच्छा, I will say in the next class what is the brand and all, I will say. Because this is, as I said, कि even though I am interested in knowing the things, but क्या है कि already puzzled with own area. So no, whenever my wife want to discuss anything with me, I always say that yes or no, that's all. Then he says that you always act pricey. Why you act like that? What to say?
Sir, it is a good example of home management.
Always he say that you are not ready for a discussion anything. Either yes or no, that's story finished. So you understand, she is not understanding that so many things to manage, even though she understand. But then if suppose this is you can say a sari or this is any shirt, pant, anything. Kharidna hai? Yes, nahi, that's all. No discussion. Maybe.
it's a very common issue, sir, for the workaholic people.
What should I do? She says that you don't have any friend. You don't meet with anybody. When to meet? On Saturday, on Sunday, when? There is nothing to say. Okay, I am enjoying, but I am not feeling any sad that I am not enjoying my life. I am enjoying the things which I am doing. So there is I am not feeling that I want to go out now and I should be roaming and all that. Not interested. If the work is done, if the opportunity is there, can be possible? Nowhere, no problem. Just that I want to play with my son. That is the hobby. He is 9 years old. He is getting 10 years on 14th of April. His birthday. So that's his other thing. Otherwise, there is no interest as such. Okay, let's proceed. Otherwise, we will deviate. So the company is selling 2 major products. One is piping tea in tea bags and loose tea both, which is famous in Northlandia or maybe other countries also. Piping tea, and the other is piping strong flavor. The second one is having very strong tea. Somebody is interested in strong flavor so that the energy will be more. That is in tea bags only. This strong flavor is not in loose tea. This is only in tea bags, and the piping tea is loose tea and tea bags both. These are the most popular teas in the country. Not only for piping. These two are the most popular tea in the country. That means they are, you can say, doing their business growth and everything with these 2 products mainly. So the quality of these 2 products, the distribution structure, supply chain and everything should be perfect in these 2 products for the company's sustainable growth in future. Piping was the first company to manufacture tea bags in Northlandia. So in the country, we manufacture tea bags first. We are the originator, introducing them to the market in 1958. So tea bags manufacturing started in Northlandia by the piping in 1958. Since then, it has created a number of innovative designs of tea bags. After that, the changes in the tea bags designing regularly done by them. Each design change each claimed to improve the flavor of tea made from its tea bags. Every change in design each for the better flavor. Northlandia prefer tea bags to loose tea. That means in the country, people prefer tea bags in place of loose tea. Piping manufacture 360 million tea bags every week. Every week their volume is 360 million tea bags. The company also sells loose tea in packets to cater for the demand from the minority of the consumers who prefer to make tea from loose leaves only. The company also sells loose teas in packets to cater the demand which is there who don't want tea bags, who want to use loose tea only. Piping teas are regarded as a premium product. So we are not in the normal market. Premium. It's a, what do you say? Apple. It is not Samsung normal. We are Apple. Piping teas are regarded as premium products that are slightly more expensive than competitors' brands. So since our product is premium, the price is premium. The company buys goods quality tea leaves. We manufacture quality tea. They may purchase quality tea leaves. They don't purchase normal tea leaves. It spends heavily on advertising in order to promote brand awareness. Quality, at the same time, advertising, branding. Piping packaging is both visually appealing and is designed to keep the content fresh. So our packaging is very good, visibly appealing, and at the same time, the packaging is designed in such a way that it keeps the quality intact, content fresh. Piping tea is popular because it matches the preference of Northlandian customers. They know how to do marketing. Marketing not means selling. Marketing means knowing the requirement of the customers and offering to the customers what they require. So in this we are one of the best. Piping tea is popular because it matches the preferences of the Northlandia's customers, who generally like a strong flavor that can be enhanced by adding both milk and sugar. Most of the company's output is sold through retailers in Northlandia, although it exports tea to countries that share a preference of a strong tea. So they are normally selling through retailers, but they have some exports also, share of a strong tea. Although it exports tea to countries that share a preference of a strong tea generally exported also. Exporters are also driven by demand from Northlandian expatriates who have settled abroad and wish to continue drinking their flavored tea. So that favorite tea, not flavored tea, favorite tea. That means suppose anybody who is from UK in the class, maybe from Dubai, maybe from any place, but you belong to India and you want to drink Indian tea only. So that company is exporting to those places also where the Northlandian expatriates are there. They demand so that they can feel the taste of the home. So this is, you can say, a simple business model of the company. They established around 170 years odd back. There is no tea production in Northlandia. They always import tea. And then in the culture in Northlandia, tea drinking is very common. They established, they quoted their company in 1974, 50 years back. Then they focus on black tea mainly. And normally they sell tea, had Northlandia leading tea manufacturer they are. Piping now produces several varieties of tea, but these are the major two brands which are famous not in the name of piping, but in the normally as a tea. They are famous in Northlandia. Then they are saying that they are the first to produce tea bags, and that is in 1958. Regularly they are improving the tea bag production, the better design and all that to keep it fresh, to make it visible. The Northlandia prefer tea bags in place of loose tea, but loose tea production is also there so that they can cater it to different demands. They are the premium quality products. They are not normal, so their prices are higher than their competitors. Because of the quality leaves, they import, they do the manufacturing, they do branding and the packaging. All they are doing so that they can take themselves as apart as compared to others. Piping tea is popular, it matches preferences of Northlandia customers. They do good amount of marketing. As per the requirement of the customers, they are offering their products, what the customer want, and depending upon that, they are making changes in their product. Strong flavor tea, generally like a strong flavor, can be enhanced by adding both milk and sugar. Strong tea sale is very high, and at the same time adding milk and sugar, further energy can be developed. Most of the company output is sold through retailers, but they are exporting also, where the strong tea is demanded, because the Northlandian expatriate who are residing in other country, they demand the tea which is developed in Northlandia by the piping. So to fulfill their demand, they are exporting also. But other than that, they are also exporting. That is their business model, how they developed and how they grown in last, what I should say, 170 years. Normally when these materials are written, the material by the CIMA Institute written by many faculties, around 10 to 12 persons, you will find that sometimes something are repeated because one person don't know what other has written. But normally it is written by around 10 to 12 persons. They are given the job, a project to make a pre-seen material. Everybody is having different area, operations, this, that. So different area written by different persons, and then they are combined into a pre-seen material. So whatever the things written here, repeated later also. Then comes the operations, how they are making the tea. What is the operational process? Normal operation process which is there common with everybody, that is there with them. What is extra they are doing in their processes? Piping has a factory in central city in Northlandia, where it employs 700 staff. So 700 staff, recruitment, selection, training, motivation, HR required. A further 200 staff are involved in buying, marketing and administration. Total 900. 200 staff are buying tea leaves, marketing the products, branding and administration. They are based at head office building that is close to the factory. So head office building, factory building is separate, but the head office building 200 person, factory 700, total 900 persons. Black tea purchased at auction held in the various tea producing countries. Piping has a sophisticated digital buying system that predicts the company's requirements for tea from the different locations and matches those requirements to the timing of scheduled tea auctions. That enables the purchasing department to identify buying opportunities that are relevant to the company. Inventories of tea can then be managed efficiently, minimizing holding cost and wastages. The price of black tea varies according to supply and demand, but it is always the single most expensive component of piping's cost, typically exceeding 40% of the total manufacturing cost. What do you say relating to this paragraph in 2-3 lines? What they are saying in this paragraph? What do you think the focus of this paragraph? According to me, it is very important for exam. Forget about what question will come. What they want to convey in this paragraph?
They are using the latest technology.
IT. और सीमा बोलता है कि ऑपरेशनल हो, मैनेजमेंट हो, स्ट्रैटेजिक लेवल हो. आप सॉफ्टवेयर प्रोग्रामर तो नहीं है, आप हार्डवेयर पर्सन नहीं है, लेकिन आपको आईटी का ज्ञान अच्छे से होना चाहिए. Whenever I teach IT, आरती, you remember in operational case study, जैसे मैं अपने बारे में बताता हूं, I know like that only. मेरे को टेक्निकल बातें नहीं आती है, ना मेरे को जानना है. बट आप ये एक बार फिर से ध्यान से पढ़िए. When Suman said that, then everybody focus. Black tea is purchased at auctions held in the various tea producing countries. Piping has a sophisticated digital buying system that predicts the company's requirements for tea from different locations and matches those requirements to the timing of scheduled tea auctions. That enables the purchasing department to identify buying opportunities that are relevant to the company. Inventories of tea can then be managed efficiently, minimizing holding cost and wastages. The price of black tea varies according to supply and demand, but it is always the single most expensive component of piping cost, typically exceeding 40% of the total manufacturing cost. Anybody has heard JIT, just in time? Just in time manufacturing, just in time purchasing. Anybody heard?
Yes, sir.
How can we define, or how can we say what is just in time purchasing and just in time manufacturing?
Definition तो sir पता नहीं.
डेफिनेशन मेरे को भी नहीं पता है, सॉरी मैंने गलत बोल दिया. डेफिनेशन नहीं चाहिए मेरे को चाहिए कि
What I read, so like imagine in terms of hospitality industry,
Yeah.
the produce which comes early in the morning, like the expensive fish and everything, you don't create a purchase order for that. So it comes from the supplier to your door.
Achha.
That's just in time. So you don't have a proper procedure like three-way check system. So normally the accounts department, what they do, they have a limit set, and accordingly they do that. That's what I read for just in time.
Yes, you are correct, but you are talking about your particular industry. I want a general one. I mean to say, whenever we say just in time manufacturing, we will manufacture when the order will come. We will manufacture for sale. We will not manufacture for keeping in inventory. Just in time purchasing means we will purchase raw material when we want to use in production. We don't want to purchase material just for keeping the material.
So this is what I read in Toyota, in case of Toyota, Six Sigma. when I was
Yes.
in Six Sigma.
Actually, the JIT system was started by Toyota company only, and then the whole world followed them. So that is called, this JIT manufacturing and purchasing can be possible when we know that what is going to be the demand, how much I need to produce, how to produce, what raw material I require, that raw material, what I have, how much I need to order, how much time it will take. It starts from back. We say that in accounting or management accounting, one is push system, one is pull system. So JIT is a pull system. Demand will pull manufacture. Manufacture will pull the resources, material and all that. If demand is there, then only we will produce. If production will be there, then only we will be ordering for the materials and all that. So they are saying that they have a very good sophisticated digital buying system. What is that system? Predicts the company's requirements for tea from different locations and matches those requirements to the timing of scheduled tea auctions. Matlab, we are selling tea in Northlandia, we are selling tea export also. So we have a sophisticated system by which we come to know that ki locally kya demand hai, what is the demand in export, what type of tea is required. हम लोगों को अपना system से समझ में आ जाता है. When we come to know that this is the demand, that means we need to fulfill the demand. For fulfilling the demand, we need to manufacture. For manufacturing, we require tea leaves, and those tea leaves are imported according to the requirement. That they are saying. So they are not wasting their resources on just making the tea, which is not demanded to keep in inventory. Maybe they are keeping some inventory. That is not said that zero inventory. But they are keeping low inventory. Inventory management is very good, and that helps them to give that fresh quality of tea to the buyers. Because when the fresh quality will be going, as you said, because you said na ki they don't want to order further if the material is already there. That means always we want to give best quality to our customers. So if we will be selling in the market the recent production which are not old one, then the customers are more satisfied. And when they are satisfied, they are ready to pay the premium price for our products. This is possible through our digital ecosystem. Through our software, through our ERP system, we are able to estimate the demand. On the basis of demand, we do the manufacturing. For manufacturing, we purchase the tea leaves through the auction so that we purchase when it is required, and the stocking, inventory, maintenance costs are reducing. But this is harmful in one situation. Suppose you are producing when it is required. Then what will happen? If you produce when you require, there is a problem with the staff. There may be a problem with the machinery, with anything. So if the production will hamper due to any reason, ultimately the business will suffer. So JIT can be applied by only very, very good, very efficient organization. It cannot be applied by normal type of organization. For application of JIT, versatile staff, knowledgeable persons, skillful, preventive maintenance, regular maintenance, good connection with the suppliers, good IT system, all are essential. Otherwise, you want to follow JIT, but you will suffer more.
Sir, can we say it is a very good supply chain management?
They have. Can we know? We have to say. They have a good supply chain management even in this difficult industry, where we don't know what will be the production of leaves, what will be the quality and all that. Still they are able to maintain a very good digital system, digital ecosystem, where everything is autopilot mode, and they are able to work on that. They are able to reduce their cost. They are able to bring the quality of the products. Now suppose relating to this only, they ask a question that they are maintaining this digital ecosystem and all that, but then there is a problem. One of the order they are not able to fulfill. The material are not supplied. What should be done? What can be done? Asked earlier. Now there is no answer written anywhere for this. If I will say that, just bad thing I am saying. Suppose for 20 days I cannot teach because of whatever reason. What will happen? What should be done? You all are going to give the exam. I said I made a planning and all that कि भाई ये करेंगे ऐसा कर ऐसा होना नहीं है. I am just saying, don't take tension. I am there. I am just saying that if there is any situation in life arises, how that can be handled. What should be done for that? This is very practical. इसके लिए कोई अब कहीं
The company must have contingency plan.
what is it? I mean to say, if they, suppose there is no material coming, the supplier are not supplying material, or there is a, you can say, accident in your plant where the machines which are producing tea that destroyed, that cannot be ready for 15 days, 20 days and all that, what you will do? You understand? I mean to say that we will be saying so many things. Contingency plan, or we will connect with some other factory who can do the work on contract basis. कुछ ना कुछ तो सोचेंगे ना. We have to give solutions which are logical. But there is no one fixed solution for this. अब एक problem अलग से arise हो गया, different, which we have not thought, which can arise in any organization. You need to give your views. That is case study exam. So if you think that exactly इसका आंसर क्या होगा, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है यार. ऐसा कहां से बोलूं मैं?
So sir, it means here we have to discuss this controllable and uncontrollable factors.
Yes. And the controllable factors, how you can control. Uncontrollable factors, how you can reduce the impact of the uncontrollable factors. That you need to discuss. There is no other way around. And there is no right or wrong in this. It's just the justification. Whatever you are saying is logical, justified or not. That way. So one thing, they are good. But if in this only something bad happen, then how we are going to manage? Inventories of tea can then be managed efficiently. They are saying their inventory management is very good, minimizing holding cost, wastages, because we are producing when required. We are purchasing leaves when it is to be used. The price of black tea varies according to supply and demand, but it is always single most expensive component. Our cost of manufacturing, 40% is the cost of black tea. Balance 60% is the other manufacturing cost. So it is very essential that we follow this system properly so that we can control this cost. Otherwise, our net margin, EBITDA margin, gross margin will be affected.
Sir, one question.
Yes.
We are holding the holding cost, minimizing the holding cost and the waste. Okay, so in the tea industry, what will be the waste?
I will say that when the tea leaves are soaked, then they are cutted into pieces, or maybe if the tea are, because they have written later, that when the tea leaves are older, or the tea manufactured is older, it loses its quality. They have written. So wastage means what? If
it can be determined on the nature of the raw material. Sometimes, if the material life is old,
yes.
ultimately wastage or residual item will be more. But if it is fresh, like in case of sugarcane industry.
In tea also, if it is fresh, it will be giving a better outcome, quality outcome. But if it is older one, then it loses its strength. That energy and all that they have written later. So if it is not meeting the quality standard, since we are saying that we are the premium brand, our tea are better than others and all that, then how we will be selling that? And if we cannot sell, or maybe we are selling at a lesser price, that can be treated as a waste. And if you are keeping inventory which is not demanded, you are losing money. You are keeping the material, looking after staff, rent and all that you are paying, but there is no use of that expenditure. So that is minimizing holding cost.
So here is the wastage. They are not talking about the transportation of the leaves. So they are not even teaching you that is a factor.
I will say that they are saying here, as far as this paragraph is concerned, they are purchasing when it is required. The transportation, wherever they are importing, whatever the medium, they are getting the material. But then if that system is not there, maybe they are purchasing now, but the requirement of the manufacturing tea of that type is after 4 months. So for 4 months, maybe they will manufacture, they need to keep the product. Or if they don't start manufacturing, then they need to keep the raw material. That will reduce the quality of the product. And when it is going down below the normal quality which should be there, then in that case we need to sell at a lesser price and all that. That is happening less in the company because they are focusing on JIT.
Transportation cost will be high.
Why?
In case of whenever the demand is coming, so we have to take that materials immediately.
But then they are saying, I understood, they are saying that they are doing all these in a proper forecasting channel. By the digital system, they come to know that when the demand will arise. From our connection with the customers, because later on they have said about marketing team also. So we come to know what will be the demand in export, what will be the demand domestically. Based on that, how much production we need to do. Based on that, what is the tea leaves requirement. So you are not that you are purchasing again and again the material. Based on your digital buying system, you are able to procure the materials in time, which are good in quality, which are in time. You don't have to keep them. You can use in the production process and you can sell to the customer. That they are saying. You are thinking that if you go for JIT, then you need to purchase materials maybe 10 times. But the tea leaves cannot be purchased 10 times. They are not always available. The auctions are there, depending upon the auction, depending upon season. They plan their event, they purchase the materials so that they will be able to purchase at a better price and they will be able to purchase when it is required. That way they are saying.
So thus what I read just in time is very difficult to control the purchasing department. That's what I read because it's very, very highly expensive, very perishable items. In the purchasing department, it's very difficult to control it. That's what I read.
No, you are correct that in JIT there may be problems. But if the company's staff, the forecasting, the IT system is efficient, then JIT will be giving benefit. But if you don't have the capacity to manage JIT and you want to follow JIT, then the problem will arise. So, if the efficiency is there, then you can follow JIT. If efficiency is not there, you should not follow JIT. If you can't forecast demand, if you can't forecast when the materials will be required, if you can't forecast your problems in the production process, if you can't manage any small issue arises in the production process, you should not follow JIT. Because then in that case, you are actually destroying yourself. When the problem will arise, you will not be able to manage.
So should we assume that they are effectively managing this department?
This paragraph is saying this only. Because they are saying sophisticated digital buying system which predicts the company's requirements for tea from different locations. मतलब जो सिस्टम है वो ये भी बता देता है हमको इंडिया से कितना चाहिए, चाइना से कितना चाहिए, क्या क्या. Matches those requirements to the timing of scheduled tea auctions. And that requirement is matches with the auction in the different countries, different places. That enables the purchasing department to identifying buying opportunities. So from where to buy at a better price, better quality that are relevant to the company. Inventories of tea can then be managed efficiently. Inventories reduced to lower level, minimizing holding cost and wastages. ये लोग बोल तो वही रहे हैं यार कि हम लोग इसमें बहुत good हैं. That they are saying कि we are efficient in following this JIT system. I am not saying JIT means in their case zero inventory, but they are keeping the inventory at a very low level, which reduces the wastages, which increases the quality. They are able to procure the material at a better price when the season is there, and they are able to use that in the production which can be sold to the consumer faster. That they are saying. अब है कि नहीं, कभी प्रॉब्लम तो आ ही सकता है यार. But this paragraph is saying they are efficient in this. The price of black tea varies according to supply and demand, but it is always the single most expensive, that is 40% of our manufacturing cost, each based on cost of black tea leaves. Each batch of tea purchased is sampled on delivery by piping tea blenders. This is happening in every tea industry. When you are purchasing from 10 places, then all 10 samples are kept separately because blenders need to test that. The company has 6 blenders who has a testing laboratory beside the factory. Beside the factory, there is a laboratory where these 6 blenders test. Each batch of leaves has its own unique flavor. Each batch, maybe you are purchasing from the same supplier, but earlier when you purchased last month or last to last month, this month it will be having a different flavor because of the climate and all that. Each batch of leaves has its own unique flavor, which means that piping teas would not be consistent over time. The blenders have the skill to test each batch and to adjust for slight differences in the flavor, color and aroma by altering the products of teas from different countries and different plantations. Blenders का काम यही है कि maybe the taste is different, maybe it is different, but mixing 2-3 things together, how that the same taste will be coming, that is their job. Because then only we can say Vataj, whatever you say. They use their judgment to decide the precise mix of different batches to be used in blending teas for production. This is I mean to say, whether you say problem, whether it is USP, blending is one of the important part in the tea manufacturing industry. Because आपको crop you will be getting every time different from different suppliers, from the same supplier, different taste. But उसको मिला मिलू के वैसा ही बनाना, ये simple काम नहीं है. So that they are doing beside the factory, the 6 blenders are there, that is their job. Black tea leaves are packed in large paper sacks at the plantation, which is you can see in the video when the tea leaves are plugged, then in a paper bag or in a basta, whatever you say, they are packed. The sacks are shipped to piping factory on wooden pallets. The sacks are shipped to piping factory on wooden pallets that are stacked inside shipping containers. Unprocessed black tea can be stored for years, although its flavor will deteriorate, which I was saying. Unprocessed black tea can be stored for years, but its flavor will deteriorate slightly if stored for more than few months. So it will be affecting the quality. And in terms of our organization selling mainly black tea and premium brand, we can't accept this. Manufacturers will in any case be keen to minimize inventory holding cost by processing black tea and selling the finished product as quickly as possible. So when we are following that digitization process and all that, we are doing good. Because otherwise the quality of the black tea will be affected. The sacks are shipped to piping factory wooden pallets that are sacked inside shipping containers. Unprocessed black tea can be stored for years, although its flavor will be slightly if stored for more than few months. Now it is a very vague language for years, and then they are saying few months, which we don't know. You can do research, not required. Generally they are saying that if you keep black tea for a longer time, then the tea leaves will lose their importance. Manufacturers, so normally not only this piping, other companies also, they always want to use black tea for manufacturing process, selling the final product as quickly as possible. And in our case, this is important because we are the premium brand. We are not the normal brand. When they are required for production, the paper sacks are transported mechanically and emptied into massive metal drums with the number of sacks from each batch of black tea is specified by the tea blenders. The blenders have already tested different batches. Kisko milane se the taste will come. So that instruction given in the factory, and that way the blending in a big drum will be done. The drum rotates slowly until the leaves from each batch have been mixed evenly. The drums rotate slowly until the leaves from each batch mixed properly. A sample is tested by the factory quality control technicians to confirm that the mixture of leaves in the drum is satisfactory before any further processing. जब उसका processing, mixture, blending वगैरह हो जाता है, then there is a technical person who is not a blender. In the factory, the technical person confirm the mixture of leaves in the drum satisfactory before any further processing. There can be an internal control issue here. The blender says that the mixture should be this, but in the factory maybe the mixture in a different proportion, or maybe it was not mixed properly, even though the technician said that it is giving the same taste and all that. So there is an internal control issue here. A sample is tested by the factory quality control technicians to confirm that the mixture of leaves in the drum is satisfactory before any further processing. A sample is tested by the factory quality control technician to confirm that the mixture of the leaves in the drum is satisfactory before any further processing. So if there is any problem here, ultimately again the outcome will be affected. If the blended tea leaves are to be sold as loose tea, then they are loaded onto production lines that wait out and correct amount for each packet of tea. The tea leaves are then dropped onto sheets of foil that are cut, folded and sealed using heat to create packet of tea. The packets are placed in cardboard boxes that are formed on the production line. The crates that creates the retail boxes of tea that are ready to be stacked onto retailer shelves. The retail boxes are loaded onto cardboard boxes for shipping. Just a picture is given. I will say that this thing, I have given a video of Ahmad factory, Ahmad tea factory of around 16 minutes video. When you see that video, you will be able to understand this thing much better. Are you saying anything? Sorry. Because I stopped you, maybe, sorry. Maybe you were saying in the class or you were talking inside your house. Hello? I don't know whom I stopped. No. I don't think so that it is for the class. For that reason I stopped, sorry. So I am saying that when you see the videos which I shared, there is one video which is talking about tea plantation. Then plantation to making the tea and all that. There is one video which is about tea bag preparation, tea bag packaging and all that. Then there is one video which is talking about entire factory visit. That is a big factory. They are having exports all over the world and all that. I found that that is giving you good feeling. So 2-3 videos are there. When you see that, then you will be able to correlate these things with those videos. Because normally we say that as a human being, we will be able to understand the thing better when we see something. In place of write-up, when we see something, then in that case the understanding increases. So anybody who has not seen the video, see that, you will be able to correlate whatever is written. Red label tea boxes is like this in India. Red label tea is like this. I don't know whether they are having the same level like still now. But this is the box that they are making for this type of tea. Loose tea boxes. The process for making tea bags is very similar. The loose leaves required for each tea bag are placed on a strip of paper. A second strip of paper goes on top and the two strips are fused together around the tea leaves. The fused strip is then cut to separate the individual tea bags. More expensive brands of tea bags, including piping, have a tag attached to make it easier for consumer to lift them out of their cup. But normally I am to always using whatever tea bags, they have this always the system. तो ये तो सारा ही ऐसा है. But they are saying that that is premium brand presentation. Have a tea bag attached to make it easier for the consumer to lift them out of their cup. Individual tea bags can also be packaged in a paper envelope to maintain freshness. Individual tea bags can also be packaged in a paper envelope to maintain freshness and to permit branding to be printed on each tea bag. Tea bags are then packed in foil, boxed and packed in outer cardboard boxes for transportation to the retailers. You see the tea bag making video, you will understand what they are saying. There are two separate production lines for these tea and tea bags. For loose tea, separate production line. For tea bags, separate production line. Two production line. All processes are highly machinized. Huge IT and machines, robots we are using. Still we are using 700 workers. The 700 production staff are employed to monitor the operations of the machinery on the production line, make adjustments, carry out preventive maintenance, and deal with breakdown. What is the job of the worker mainly? Monitor the operation. This is first thing. Make adjustments. Carry out preventive maintenance. Preventive maintenance means सावधानी की कीमत दुर्घटना के पहले. Hindi language. Prevention is better than cure. If anything wrong happens, then you will rectify it. Before that, why not you take action that the wrong will not happen? That is called preventive maintenance. And deal with breakdowns. So the laborers are there to look after the operations by the machines when it is happening, doing some adjustments wherever required, doing preventive maintenance so that the problems can be arrested before it arises, and problems of breakdowns. If any breakdown arises, then to resolve this, the laborers are there. But otherwise, maximum process in the factory is machinized. The machinery undertakes almost all of the manufacturing and handling of inventory. Manufacturing, inventory handling, everything done by machines. So labor chahiye, but they are just looking at the work being done by the machines, by the robots. Marketing and distribution. Piping products are sold through most major retailers in Northlandia. Most of the retailers are selling piping tea. The marketing and distribution departments has two main functions: advertising, account management. Advertising. Piping invest heavily on advertising in order to maintain brand awareness. They focus on huge advertisement with all the means. The company's brand name is one of the most recognizable in the country. But it remains important to advertise through traditional and online channels in order to prevent loss of market share. Advertising also helps piping to develop brand loyalty from younger customers who might switch to other drinks such as coffee. The advertising team is a part of piping's marketing and distribution department. It has a substantial budget for the development of new advertisements and for broadcasting and publications. Matlab in the company, maybe they are the best brand and major brand, not only in tea, in other brands also. But fir bhi they huge expenditure on advertisement, which is to generate demand from the new customers, from young customers, for maintaining demand, for maintaining the premium quality. Advertisement is essential for them. And there is a separate team designated for advertising purpose, traditional means and social media means, online means, all the mediums they are using to maintain the brand, to do the advertisement. Account management. This is also the part of marketing and distribution team. The second part of distribution and marketing. Account management. Piping is the largest tea manufacturer in Northlandia. Largest tea manufacturer. Earlier they said, again they said leader. And most food retailers wish to sell piping's products. Most of the food retailers are interested in selling piping products. Piping strives to maintain a strong relationship with major retailers by having a designated account management team in its marketing and distribution department. तो पाइपिंग ने क्या किया है, अपने अकाउंट्स मैनेजमेंट टीम से एक आदमी को लगा दिया है मेजर कस्टमर के लिए, मेजर रिटेलर्स के लिए. Piping strives to maintain a strong relationship with major retailers by having a designated account management team in its marketing and distribution department. This team function is to engage with buyers employed by retailers. This team's function is to engage with buyers employed by retailers. Retailers के यहाँ कोई person है जिसका काम है खरीदना. हम लोग के यहाँ marketing में से एक person है that who will be selling, they are settling the connection. Typically, a major retailer customer will be assigned an account manager who will be the designated contact between piping and the retailer's buying department. Typically, a major retail customer will be assigned an account manager who will be the designated contact between piping and the retailer's buying department. तो मेजर रिटेलर के लिए हम लोगों की कंपनी में There is a particular person which will be settling the link between the buyer and us. Account managers will also seek to encourage buyers to place regular orders, which is their job, increasing their spend as much as possible. For example, an account manager might be authorized to offer a discount in return for an increase in the retailer's regular order. Account managers also keep retailers informed about forthcoming promotions, such as a new advertising campaign that will hopefully be increased demand. आप एक सोचिए कि if you are working anywhere और आप अगर यही एरिया हैंडल करते हैं तो you can correlate this 100% with yourself. You can say that suppose I am directly connected with CIMA and ACCA Institute. मेरे लिए अलग से एक पर्सन डेजिग्नेटेड है सीमा और ACCA में कि भाई प्रकाश जी को सराफ एकेडमी को इज देयर एनी रिक्वायरमेंट, एनी मटेरियल, एनी सपोर्ट, एनीथिंग, रेगुलरली दे कनेक्ट विथ अस बिकॉज एन इंपॉर्टेंट प्लेयर फॉर देम. So they are always concerned with me, my demand and all that. Normally,
sir,
yes.
So just two questions.
Yeah.
Question number one, can we correlate our answers to the scandals, the accounting scandals in exam?
Means?
Like for this particular one, because Tesco in UK, they had a accounting scandal where the people had a lot of pressure to sell their products. So what they did, they hypothetically forecasted and showed that the Tesco is putting the stuff on the shelf. Now taking the money from them. So they've taken this as an asset, which was actually is a loss.
I'm not getting last, no, one second.
So what they did, they forecasted a certain amount of money, XYZ, in their P&L, or the balance sheet, whatever they did.
Okay.
But on shelf, so they give us so much discounts, they can't commit on the revenue. So at the end of the day, all the discounts and everything is gone wasted. It's all provision.
Okay.
So they took a very big hit because everybody had a lot of pressure to do their forecasting sale or revenue.
Actually, there are two things here. There are two things here. First of all, suppose I am talking about ACCA CIMA Institute. Do you think that any institute should be focusing on converting students, so much sale and all that? Is this logical? Is this ethical? What do you think?
I'm just saying, sir, because if I'm studying about piping, I can give an example.
No, I understood. For that reason, I am going into detail of this, that we are taking piping, CIMA, ACCA, your Tesco, any example. Normally, we can say that in case of Tesco or in case of 7-Eleven, there are many shops in world, because in India, Tesco and 7-Eleven are less. But they are very famous in outside India. I have seen in many places. I mean to say that maybe for them the sale is very important. But do you think for CIMA and ACCA Institute, converting the students, joining the courses is very important? What do you think? No. The question is that there are two things here. Maybe CIMA and ACCA are not for profit oriented organization. In UK, you know that their memorandum and all that, when you read, they are saying they are not for profit oriented. Now, normally the question arises that when an organization is not profit oriented, then why they will be focusing on sales so much? I say that, suppose you all qualify CIMA. Why you are doing CIMA? What is the purpose of your being doing CIMA?
So for me, I started before SCA. I want to finish it. I don't do anything for money.
No, it's okay. I mean to say that you want to do CIMA, management case study, strategic case study, you want to qualify CIMA. Then what is your purpose going to be fulfilled when you do CIMA? What is the thing you want to achieve after doing CIMA?
I enjoy manual accounting, sir, because
no, you are not answering. You want to grow in your life, maybe in your money, I mean to say position in the organization at higher level, going in the new organization, you want to increase your earnings. That's the simple thing. By other things.
I got a different reason, but it's fine.
No, I mean to say that you can say that I enjoy management accounting, I understand. But you are not going to invest your time and money just because of your interest. You want that their life should be growing. You will be able to earn better revenue. You will be able to earn better salary. You will be able to do something on your own. That's the major part, because success is counted in terms of what you are earning. Simple baat hai yaar. माने चैरिटी की बात बाद में करेंगे. You will be able to do charity when you will be able to earn. Without earning, how you will do charity? Now you understand CIMA and ACCA Institute. If they will not be able to create opportunities for the students when they are qualifying CIMA, the corporates are not demanding them. The corporates are not interested in hiring CIMA students. Whether the students will be doing CIMA, I don't think so. How the corporates will be demanding CIMA? How the corporates will be demanding? When the CIMA will be showcasing that these are our members, these are our knowledgeable persons, they have done this in life, this is our course structure. So when you hire our persons, they will be definitely an asset for the organization. They will be able to bring value on the table to the organization. For that, they need to do branding, marketing, they need to create so many events they are doing always, you know. That involve expenditure. That cannot be done without money. Creating an event or online social event or in a hotel, 5-star, 7-star, then connecting with the corporates, creating their brand, and that requires expenditure. At the same time, whoever is working in the CIMA Institute, maybe 500, 1,000 persons in different parts of the world, they all are demanding salary. And if the person is good, they will not be working at lesser amount. They want better salary and all that. At the same time, we all want that the CIMA Institute should be including in their curriculum the best quality education. You are interested in management accounting, but you will be getting interest when they include in the syllabus those things which is giving you enjoyment. All these things demands money. And this CIMA Institute can say that they are doing this in a better way. When more and more persons are becoming CIMA member, more and more persons are joining CIMA course. So this is beyond money. This is not because of money, this is beyond money. But the institute can survive, can grow, can fulfill the desires of different stakeholders when the institute will grow and the number of students are increasing. So those staff who are in the marketing team of CIMA, for India, for Dubai, for UK, different teams are there. They have a target given that this quarter, this month or this year, this should be the number of students. So how they will be getting those students? By connecting with me or my type of person, my type of learning partner. Around 2 days before they called that, sir, we are stopping CSAP route. I forgot to tell you, CSAP route they are stopping. CSAP route band ho jayega. After 1 month or 4-5 months, I don't know, it will be only FLP route. CSAP route will not be there. CSAP route will not be there. Gateway is already gone. In CIMA, there will be only one route, FLP route, Finance Leadership Planning route. They are going to remove CSAP route. For CACWA member, the GPAP route, only strategic case study, that will be there. For seniors, 12 plus years of experience, C-suite route will be there. But this CSAP, they are closing. So they were analyzing, sir, what will be the effect on the market, whether the students will be interested or not, and all that they were discussing. What I mean to say that, whether it's a not-for-profit oriented organization, whether it's a profit-oriented organization, whether it's a private, whether it's a public, whether it's a government-owned, सबको profit चाहिए, सब में profit होना चाहिए, sale बढ़ना चाहिए, profit बढ़ना चाहिए. So it's not bad that this company is going for profit. Maybe we should not be unethical just to increase. Like you gave an example of unethical thing. The staff are so pressurized that they are selling the product at a discounted price, which is not giving any benefit to anybody. But just that to meet their target, they are increasing the sales. Suppose I am converting the CIMA student by saying wrong thing. It will be creating problem for me. It will be creating problem for the institute in the long run. Maybe in the short run for 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, I am able to achieve my target. So we always say that this is also a very, difficult matter to manage. One time we are saying to our staff, you sell the product, you connect with the retailers properly, create the demand, sell the products. But if the person who has been given the responsibility, the performance evaluation is not in the right direction, maybe that person will be doing unethical thing to create the demand to sell the goods. That should not be happening. They should not be saying wrong thing to the retailers. They should not be committing wrong thing to the retailers so that the sale is just increasing for the time being, but in the long run it will be adversely affected. So you gave an example where the unethical things were done. Why? Because the staff are pressurized. Normally in insurance, you are selling insurance policy. In India there is a big issue. जैसे तैसे इंश्योरेंस बिक जाना चाहिए बस, चाहे कुछ हो नहीं हो. So sale के case में the chances of unethical thing happening is very high. For that reason the regulatory authorities are increasing the laws and regulations relating to insurance sale, relating to loan products, relating to banking regulation and all that. But यहां पर कोई अलग से लॉ तो नहीं बन सकता, कंपनी को खुद बनाना होगा कि we want that our sales should be increasing, we want that when the demand for tea is increasing, our sales should be increasing, our retailers should be demanding more, we should be giving them incentive and all that. But that doesn't mean that we should be going beyond ethical areas. That should not be allowed. So you were giving an example which is unethical. This can happen here also. That should not be allowed. Our internal control structure should be that the persons who are doing the sale, who are managing the relationship with the retailers, they are not doing any unethical thing to sell the products. Getting my point?
Sir, I understood, but in the exam, can I quote Tesco, or rather than I refrain myself quoting Tesco?
You
only talk about piping.
Yeah, 1 second. Suppose you know this situation about Tesco. I don't know about Tesco, this is happening. I can write the same thing as a general example without naming Tesco. You can write in the exam, since it is happening in Tesco, you can quote the name of Tesco. Both the cases, it is treated as a practical example. So when the practical examples are written, marks will increase. You will get more marks.
So if I say Tesco, I get more marks.
There is no harm. No, for writing Tesco, you are not writing, you are not explaining that thing that it is relevant here.
Yes.
Based on the practical example will be giving you more marks. Not just naming Tesco will give you more marks.
Yeah, understand.
Yeah.
But it's better to name them, sir.
You can. No issue. 100% you can. The exam, which I said now, that analysis of the past term papers, the student started using some practical example. Then on the right hand side, the examiner has written that because of that, the student will be getting extra marks. But then the examiner said that just by naming the practical company is not enough. How that is relevant there, what is the reason behind saying this? If you mention that, then you will be getting extra marks. Just by naming Tesco, you will not get extra marks. That way.
Understand.
Okay?
Yes.
So this, you can say that this is a problem everywhere in the world. Because if you have been given a particular responsibility and if you don't fulfill that, then your performance, your bonus and all that will be affected. So you are bound to take aggressive steps. But those aggressions should not be going into unethical area. That we always say there is a difference between ethical and unethical. So account manager.
Why I'm saying, sir, because this company, piping companies are quoted companies. They need to maintain their share.
Yes,
So every time they need to have a quarter which is a profitable quarter.
Yes. Yes. More sales, more income. Yes. But then their salesmen who are connecting with the retailers, major retailers, they should not be doing any unethical thing. Because maybe your sale is next quarter is more. But ultimately in the long run, your business will be affected adversely.
Yes.
So we need, we should not be thinking only about next quarter, but the next 2-3 years.
But in quoted company also need to give the audited statement in their stock exchange.
They need to give. If they have received the order from the money retailers and they have sold the goods, so the audited statement are not wrong, where it is wrong.
No, sir, in case of Tesco, what happened, the PwC, they audited the company and they somehow ignored the fact that was not critically, that was not CG, that the amount was CG. And the PwC, what they did wrong in this scenario, sir, because they were with Tesco for more than 10 years, which is unethical. You can't stay more than 5 years.
Huh.
We need to change it.
Huh.
So a lot of things happen in Tesco exactly went wrong.
Okay. Actually, in India, there is IIA. They have started that key. Now there will be responsibility not only of the chartered accountant, but the responsibility of the firm will also be there. Along with the person who is doing the audit, the firm, PwC firm, will also be responsible if any unethical thing happen that the audit is not conducted properly. So the persons are...
Same things are they find by FRC.
Yes.
PwC.
So the persons are saying in India that those who are knowledgeable, auditing is not a common normal job. Auditing is a very serious job. If you can't do it properly, don't do it. The people are saying this is happening in last 5-7 days since the time the bill has passed in Indian Parliament. IIA. It is a very big hype. So I mean to say that wherever we found that the auditors should have found something which they have not done, then they are guilty and they need to be penalized, because otherwise what is the purpose of the auditing? So if something happened which the auditor should have checked, they should have verified, should have bring to the notice, but he has not done that, then they should be penalized. As far as my knowledge is concerned, in UK, there is no rule that the auditor should be changed after every 5 years. It is a recommendation. In US SOX, there is a rule that the auditor should be changed after every 5 years. But as far as UK is concerned, I don't think that there...
If you go for IFRS,
Huh?
that's what they mention it.
Huh?
The responsible individual on any audit cannot stay more than 5 years. And there are further rules after that, sir. Imagine they are changing...
Maybe UK IFRS is there. Normally in IFRS it is not there. UK IFRS, UK standard slightly different, more detailed. Maybe.
Even they are changing jobs, you have
Uh-huh.
a gap of 2 years.
Achha.
Imagine one person is employed in auditor,
Uh-huh.
going to the company in the industry, even then you have to have 2 years. So there are a lot of different parts there.
Acha, okay, ठीक है. So account managers frequently visit supermarkets to check the placement of piping products on the shelves. Supermarket shelf space is always limited, and the extent and location of products on the shelves can have a significant impact on sales. For example, products placed on eye level tended to be sell more faster than the products which are lower and upper. So the accounts manager job is also that, visiting the supermarket places, looking at where the piping products are placed, whether they are at the eye level or not. They do that also they are doing. Obviously for that, we need to pay extra. We need to pay some promotional expenditures to the supermarket store, or maybe the product are offered at a discount. Something we need to do, then only this can happen. Because the place at the eye level is limited. So if one product is placed, others cannot be placed. But the piping accounts manager need to see that they are always placed at the eye level. So the accounts manager job is, you can say, PRO job, connecting the relationship with the retail, major retailers, creating the demand, selling the product, looking at the retail shops, where the products are placed. And advertising person job is to think about advertising, branding, traditionally in the social media, online, so that the people always know about the brand and our brand value never getting deteriorated because we will not be doing advertisement. Both these are a normal revenue, normal expenditures for them, because then only they will be able to create the brand for their products, or I will say that maintain the brand for their products. Piping, marketing and distribution. Department keeps close contact with customers to ensure that its teas remain popular. Department keeps close contact with customers, even though we are not directly dealing with customers, but close contact with customers to ensure that its teas remain popular. The company makes several varieties of tea, each of which aims to attract its own specific niche of tea drinking. For example, piping strong flavor was developed 5 years ago because of feedback from a sizable minority of consumers who were using tea bags per cup to get the strength of the flavor that they wished. Piping tea, who were using 2 bags, matlab 2 tea bags they were using in 1 cup to get the flavor. Piping tea blenders developed a new blend that could deliver a stronger flavor from a single tea bag, and so created a popular new product. That is just an example they have given how much we are concerned with the taste and preference of the final consumers. Piping marketing and distribution department has a small team of sales managers who seek to expand the piping export sales. For export, there is a separate team. Although the company's brand image is strongly associated with Northlandia, that is outside Northlandia we are not so famous. There are nevertheless some other countries in which piping brands are popular. कुछ जगह है. There are also several countries where retailers sell piping tea to meet the demand from local communities of Northlandian expatriates who enjoy drinking piping tea because it reminds them of the home. So it was written earlier also, written now, that there are some countries where Northlandian expatriates are there and they demand the Northlandian piping tea and all that. For that reason, the retailers in those countries are interested in selling piping tea. But normally our export is there, but not very famous in other countries. You can say that it is an opportunity for us. Why we are not so famous? When we are the leader in the tea, in the best country, in the very sophisticated customer demand, why we are not able to develop our export business so much? So that's an opportunity for the company to develop export business. We are exporting, but not that much that they are saying. Social responsibility, CSR. As Sahil, you were engaged, they are saying what they are doing for CSR. Most tea plantations are located in developing countries. Most tea plantation, tea growing is there in India, China, in growing developing countries, which has led to some controversy over the rates of pay and working conditions imposed on plantation workers. आना ही है वो. So in the developing country, the problem of labor arises. Piping, in common with most tea manufacturer, buys tea leaves from auctions, and so the company have very little direct contact with the plantation themselves. If I am in India, Darjeeling or Kerala producing tea, and I am not paying to the laborer properly and all that, but the piping is not purchasing tea directly from me. They are purchasing tea through the auctions. So they are not directly dealing with the seller, with the tea plantation growers. The fact that the prices are set at auction means that there is at least some transparency over pricing. Because in auction, the pricing will be decided by the best bid, 1, 2, 3, like that. Piping supports a number of local charities and other initiatives in tea growing countries that are intended to encourage plantation owners to treat their workers fairly. These initiatives also offer practical support, such as funding schools and medical facilities in tea growing regions that are too remote for government facilities to be available. So this is CSR activity we are doing. Even though we are not directly concerned with the tea plantation workers, but still we are doing some charities, local charities and other initiatives in tea growing countries that are intended to encourage plantation owners to treat their workers fairly. For them, schooling, medical facilities and all that we are doing so that at least some benefit can be possible with the workers. Piping manufacturing process are designed to use resources efficiently and with the minimum of wastage. Piping manufacturing process, we are purchasing tea leaves, doing the processing, converting into black tea or green tea. Green tea require less processing, but black tea require more with the minimum of the waste. Its production lines are maintained regularly in order to reduce the amount of power required for their operation. Products are designed to eliminate waste. For example, all packaging is recycled and uses as little material as possible in order to reduce the weight and so transportation cost. So we focus that the power consumption or anything which is required for production, they should not be wasted. The packaging is all recyclable and the packaging is less weight, so the transportation cost is lower. That is also our CSR activity. Piping tea bags and loose tea leaves can be recycled by consumers. When the consumer using the tea bags or the loose tea, the material can be recycled. The paper in tea bags is biodegradable and used tea leaves make excellent fertilizer. Just now I have taken a tea. The tea bags is thrown in the dustbin just now already. Now where that tea bags will be growing? what will be done? Mamata Banerjee in Kolkata has, or in most of the places where the garbage are there, entire garbage is used for generation of electricity. In most of the garbage area, there is a plant installed which can convert those garbages into generation of electricity. This is done at least around 3-4 years back. So I don't need to think separately, wo apne aap ho raha hai. But they are saying that that can be used as biodegradable waste and can be used as excellent fertilizer. Piping packaging provides consumer advice on recycling. Packet के ऊपर लिखा हुआ है, how can you do recycling of the tea bags or the loose tea packets? So that is advice to the consumers. How can you do recycling of these resources? So they are focusing on recycling. They are focusing on minimizing the wastages, conservation of energy resources. They are focusing on packaging, scientific packaging, which can reduce the packaging materials, transportation cost. They are focusing on local charity, helping in their schools, medical facilities and all that. And they are purchasing their tea from the auctions so that the prices are logical. So they are doing their CSR activities, social responsibility by doing these activities. You can say that since it's a company quoted, listed in a developed country where the people are more sophisticated. So if anything comes about the company in the market that they are unethical, they are not thinking about society, maybe in other country, people will be not interested in buying the products. And then in that case, it will be deteriorating their brand and goodwill. So they are doing the things which is required for maintaining the brand and goodwill and the CSR activities. Now their management structure. One is the CEO, and under the CEO there are the 5 functional directors. One is Chief Operating Officer, one is Marketing and Distribution Director, one is Finance Director, our head ka head. We are Finance Manager, Senior Finance Manager, then Finance Director. One is Human Resource Director, 700 plus 200, 900 persons are there. And one is Product Development Director. So Chief Operating Officer and Product Development Director are 2 separate persons. Then Marketing, Distribution, Finance and Human Resource. And the CEO is the boss for all of them. So the Chief Operating Officer job is tea buying, production, quality management. The major job of Chief Operating Officer, tea buying, production and quality management. The Product Development Manager, tea blends and packaging updates. The packaging updates in place of 2 packets, 1 tea bag can be used. That is done by the Product Development Director. Then the Marketing and Distribution, they already said advertising, account management and consumer feedback. Finance Director, management and financial accounting. Human Resource Director, recruitment, selection, training, motivation. That is their job. So for 5 different functions, 5 different directors are there. The organization structure is looking like functional organization structure. For specialist function, we have specialist persons. Those functions are performed by specialist persons. So you can say that advantage, disadvantage of functional organization structure. Whether you should convert our organization structure from functional to divisional, advantage, disadvantage. We will discuss later, but I am just giving a feeling that we are following functional organization structure. Piping board also includes the following non-executive directors. 1 CEO and then 5 functional directors. There are 6 executive directors. Then there are non-executive, one is the chairman, and there are 5 non-executive directors. That means in total 6 and 6, 12 directors are there. 6 executive, 6 non-executive. Out of the non-executive, one of the non-executive director is the chairman, and the others are normal non-executive director. This all is relating to corporate governance. What is the job of executive director, non-executive director, all things comes. We will discuss, I am not discussing now. Simply, you can say that this whole area is related with organization structure and corporate governance. Each of the executive directors, other than the chief executive, is responsible for a specific functional area. Marketing and distribution is managed as a profit center. The other 4 functions are cost center. So there is performance evaluation, cost center, profit center, investment center. What is the difference between them? What are the types of responsibility centers? That area also they have touched upon. This They have not written anywhere else, just here. With 1 or 2 lines, they are saying that the question can come on transfer pricing. What is a cost center? What is a profit center? What is an investment center? How the transfer price would be decided? What is the terminology? That is, you can say, a P2 area and all that. So this is corporate governance, the functional organization structure, E2, which was there in E1 and other areas also. And then responsibility center, cost center, profit center, investment center, transfer pricing. All these are hidden. They will be giving some scenario, then the question will be asked. The case study exam is not that, what is transfer pricing policy? What is a cost center? Not like that. They will be giving some background, trigger, some write-up, and then they will be generating the questions. So up till now, in case of piping, what we have discussed. First of all, the company developed or grown 170 years back. The tea they are always importing, not grown in Northlandia. Established in stock exchange in 1974, 50 years back approximately. Major 2 products, many products, but major 2 products, piping, tea piping, strong tea. Then we can see that they are the first to have developed the tea bags, and regular updates are there. The piping manufacture 360 million tea bags. Major is that, but they are offering loose tea where the demand is there. Then piping in matches the preference of Northlandian customers, generally strong flavor. Experts in tea countries that share the preference for strong tea, there also we are exporting. Operations, the first operation is staff, factory and the head office. Then we have sophisticated supply chain management system, JIT system you can say. Then we have blenders who will be making the taste as same consistent by taking the samples. Then we have, you can see that if there will be black tea kept for a longer time, there is the effect on the quality, should be used faster, the product should be sold faster. Then in the factory, when the tea are blended, mixed together, then there is a quality control technician who need to check that it is giving the same taste. Then the loose tea packaging system, then the tea bags packaging system. Then you can see the system is more and more automized. IT, the employees are there for looking at the operations, for preventive maintenance, for handling breakdowns. Then in the marketing and distribution, there is advertising and there is account management. In the marketing and distribution, final consumer feedback, developing the things based on their requirement. Export is there, not so much famous, opportunities are there. The CSR, auction purchasing, proper pricing, normal charities. Then you can see manufacturing process, reducing the wastages, reducing conservation of energy. And then you can see that packaging, reducing the wastages, recycling. Then the organization structure, 6 executive, 6 non-executive, functional organization structure. One of the department is a profit center. So the concept of cost center, profit center, investment center, responsibility centers, transfer pricing, all these things comes, which are focusing on different area of the syllabus. Sometime E2, sometime P2. Even though if suppose you remember the points, functional organization structure, what are the advantage, disadvantage. If you write in the exam bullet point like that, examiner will not give marks. Examiner want the correlation with the situation. In the unseen, there will be some scenario they will be giving. Based on the scenario, you need to build up your answer. Maybe you have technical knowledge. That is not enough. We need to use the technical knowledge in the practical sense, because that is actually the purpose of the case study exam. The company business model: define value, create value, deliver value, capture residual value. Define value, this is value. Then create that value when you know the definition, create that. then deliver that value to the market, to the consumers, to the stakeholders. If there is anything left, cover that also. Define value. Piping defines value in terms of needs and wishes of consumers. Piping pay close attention to feedback from customers and adapts to maintain the popularity of its brands. I can say that defining value means customers always say that piping is best. Customers, whatever they like, we need to deliver them. Customers के सामने हमारा brand always आना चाहिए. That is defining value for us. How we create that? Piping sources good quality materials from its products and their packaging. Piping constantly innovates quality of its products and manner in which they are packaged. So if we give quality, if we give the quality product of tea, regularly do innovation in packaging, in products and all that, then we will be able to achieve the defining value we will be able to create. Deliver that. Piping market its products in a clear and relevant manner to maintain brand loyalty. That means the accounts manager are not doing whatever Sahil was saying as a Texas employees were doing. Piping has an excellent distribution system that ensures that its products are readily available, because then only the quality will be going to the ultimate consumers. Then capturing residual value. Piping buys high quality material and adds value in the manufacturing process in order to justify a premium selling price. Piping supports growers by paying realistic prices. Piping control cost through operational efficiencies in manufacturing. I don't think so what residual value they are saying here, because this residual is coming here in creating and delivering value only. Better quality material they have written here also. Justify a premium price so that if the customer are paying more price for our product, they can pay happily. Piping supports growers by paying realistic prices. In auction, we are paying realistic prices. Piping controls cost through operational efficiencies in manufacturing. Recycling, power consumption, or any processes which we are doing should have lesser, breakdowns and all that, so that we will be able to reduce cost also. So this is their value system. In bigger organization, they define in their website, if you go in their home page, they will be saying mission, vision, goals, objectives, values, how we are creating values and all that, that they say. And they always want to follow that they need to do this. Because if they will be continuously focusing on this, then they will be able to regularly sustain, grow, sales, profit will increase. Otherwise, they will not. So they will define the value, and based on the value system, they set the targets for their departments, for their managers. That means based on the vision, based on the mission, based on their value system, the performance evaluation system should be designed. So that once the 700, 900 employees will be doing their work, will be achieving the targets, then the value of the organization will increase. They will be giving value to their consumers with their products, with their outcome. Piping has always used good quality tea leaves in order to ensure that consumers were prepared to pay a premium price. In comparison to its competitors, piping teas are slightly more expensive, slightly, not very, slightly in competing brands. Even so, tea is a relatively inexpensive beverage when compared to other drinks such as coffee or anything. Maybe the piping tea are slightly costlier, but tea is always cheaper than coffee prices. Fruit infusion or cold drinks, whatever sodas or anything, tea is a cheaper product than these things. Many tea drinkers are prepared to pay a little more for the better quality. Piping has always been at the forefront of innovation. It introduced tea bags in Northladian market 1958. Since then, it has introduced a number of different products primarily through packaging. For example, piping has redesigned the tea bags in place of double one several times. The current design is a complex shape that has been engineered to permit boiling water to flow through more effectively and so to give consumers a better tasting drink. The company also uses a patented process that seals the foil that contains its loose teas and tea bags so that they remain fresh for longer time. So they have a patented tea bags making process which others cannot copy. Seals the foil that contains its loose teas and tea bags so that they remain fresh for longer. There can be an accounting question based on this. because IS 38 intangible assets, patent, trademark, copyrights and all that, whether it can be capitalized or not, how it will be, obviously based on certain situation, which is in the SBR questions. When the questions we are doing, whatever situation we are giving, the same type of situation will be coming here. Apart from extending the shelf life, it also improves the tea flavors also. So that is, they have patented, they have developed the tea bag process, which is patented and which is keeping the quality fresh and at the same time longer. Piping pays close attention to customer feedback. The company has a website and consumers are encouraged to leave comments. The marketing and distribution department has a team that monitors social media looking for comments about tea drinking in general and piping in particular. Marketing and distribution has a group of facilitators which holds focus group meetings and tea testing in supermarket across Northlandia. Many times I went into supermarket even in India, somebody in any supermarket chain asking you to drink tea. And they are saying there is no charges, just you drink, how it tastes and all that. So that happens in many places. So they do that. Facilitators ask a small group of consumers to discuss their opinion about tea drinking. Participants are also asked to taste and comments on the samples of tea made from the piping and from competing brands. Consumer feedback has driven a number of changes, including the launch of new teas to meet changing preferences and modification of packaging. Some consumers complained that the new foil packaging was difficult to open, and so the design was modified slightly so that it was easier to use with still preserving the freshness of the products. Whenever there is anything consumers are saying, they do that. Piping market research indicates that the consumers believe that tea has healthy enhancing effects. Consumer believe that. It would be against the law for tea companies to make claim to that effect unless they conducted the same test and trials that are applied to the pharmaceutical drugs. And pharmaceutical drugs like corona medicine and all that, so many tested and all that done, then only if it is giving 90-95% accuracy, then we can see. So consumer can say that tea is healthy, but the companies cannot say, piping cannot say, unless and until they do the trial test like a pharmaceutical company, then only they can claim that. There is nothing to stop tea companies making general statements in their advertising, but they must not claim health benefits. A cup of piping tea is the fastest way to recharge your battery. High in intoxicants and just enough caffeine. They are saying that this type of advertisement is allowed. कि आप टी पीजिए, आपका बैटरी रिचार्ज हो जाएगा. You take tea, that is antioxidants are more, or थोड़ा बहुत caffeine भी मिलेगा, which is essential. But they cannot claim that if you drink tea, this disease can be cured. This can happen. This will improve. They can't say that unless and until they have done the test, trial, and they can prove that they have done that. Otherwise, generally they can do marketing, but precisely they can't say anything unless and until the test is not done. So there can be problem that somewhere this is said, which somebody filed a case against the company, what to be managed, how to be managed and all that, pros and cons. Many times question came in the earlier exams. Legally, piping would only be in breach if it claimed that the high intoxicants quality of its tea made consumers healthier. आप high intoxicants बोलिए because that is a proven fact. But उससे आपका customer healthier हो जाएगा, नहीं बोल सकती. Start stating that tea is high in antioxidants. Antioxidants high है, that people know. Each factually correct. That's correct. And any inference by consumers that they will benefit from drinking a substance that is high that is upon them. The tea company cannot say that. Piping most direct competition is Hotlo tea Hotlo. The most competition from in the Northlandia is Hotlo, another competitor. Hotlo competes in piping marketplace by producing good quality loose tea and tea bags. Hotlo follow piping policy of selling its product in attractive and practical packaging that reflects the quality of the tea itself. मतलब exactly वो हमारा main competitor है. Piping also faces competition from 3 other large manufacturers and sell to the Northlandian market. Other than Hotlo, the 3 other players are there. Value, Generatia, Ontia. Ontia, value, sells its own branded brand of low-priced loose tea and tea bags. Low-priced. So normally this should not be treated as a competitor, but फिर भी उसका market share अच्छा है. Generatia and Ontia manufactures own brand tea for retail chains. The market share piping 23% market, Hotlo 20, not very less. Valut 18, it is also very good. Generatia 17, Ontia 14, then balance. For that reason they are having a very big player. Can we see that it is an oligopoly market? Can we see that?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Because oligopoly means that there is not so much differentiation in the products. It's a tea only. But then the players are not many. Maybe 3-4 players are there which are dominating the market. So it's an oligopoly market. So in an oligopoly market, how we will be able to grow? What is the way by which we can grow? Yes, the only thing. If you create differentiation in quality, in packaging, this, that, by that only you can increase your revenue and you can take the market from others. और कोई दूसरा काम नहीं है. In the oligopoly market, the competition between the players relating to pricing is very high. Because if you say that, suppose in, what I should say, in Indian market, if I will say internet, Airtel and this Reliance, because I am not considering Vodafone as an important player, because these two players are fighting with each other. So in that case, if Airtel will do anything, then the Reliance Jio will also be doing the same thing. So that problem is there in an oligopoly market. The players are, major players are 3-4 only, and they fight with each other in the pricing and all that. So it is not good for the market, because they will always be fighting for the price that will be affecting each one of them. So you can see that here the value creation, then our marketing activity more, what we can advertise, what we can't, and about the competition. Competition in the industry, in the area where we are. Now with all the write-up which they have given, they are subsidizing that write-up with the figures. There are some places where you will find that the figures are saying the same thing which is written in the write-up. But you will find that some of the figures are actually contradictory. They are saying something, but the figures are saying something. So if the figures are saying the same thing, then also what? And if the figures are saying contradictory thing, then why they are contradictory? Nowhere written. What can be the justified reason for that? Just for example, the revenue last year 3,080. And this is 31st December 2020-21. That is the year ending. 3,008 to 3,080, around 72. 72 is the increase in sales. 72 by 3, how much percentage? 72 divided by 3,008, what is the percentage? Anybody can sit with the calculator and start doing some calculations. 72 divided by 3,008, what is the percentage increase in revenue? I will say around 2.33%. 2.39%. So the sales growth is 2.39%. The cost of revenue, cost of goods sold, that is 1635 to 1704. So around 69 more. So 69 divided by 1635. What is the percentage? 69 divided by 1635. What is the percentage? I think it is around greater than 4%. Because 16 4 just 64, 4.22%. So the company's sales has grown by 2.39%, but the company's cost has grown up by 4.22%. So if you calculate gross profit margin, not required, last year 1373 by 3008, current year 1376 by 3080, the gross profit margin percentage in the current year will be lower than last year. Because the expenditures are increasing at a greater rate, greater pace as compared to the sales. So the gross profit margin in the current year is lower than last year. What can be the reasons for this? What can be the reasons for this? Nowhere written. You need to give logic for whatever you will say. The gross profit margin in the current year is lower than the last year. What can be the reasons for this? Anybody?
Sir, what was the question?
The sales is increasing by 2.39%, you all said. The cost is increasing by 4.22%. So definitely the gross profit margin in the current year will be lower than the last year, which we have not calculated as a percentage, but we already know that it will be coming lower. So I am saying that what is the reason behind this? Why the gross profit margin in the current year is lower than the last year?
Sir, sometimes the raw materials price may be higher, higher labor costs.
First of all, the sale has gone up because of quantity or because of sale price. The sale revenue is 3080 to 3008, 72 more. It is because of more quantity we are selling or because of more, what do you say, sale price, the revenue is more. We don't know. I and you both don't know, or anybody don't know. If it is because of more quantity, not because of price. Reason being that the graph which they have given relating to prices, the prices are generally reducing. On the top, when the sale prices, the prices of tea, when they have given the graph, then the sale prices are not increasing. You can see that from 2022, if we go in 2021, this is the price. And if you go in 2022, March, June and all that, because December 21 and then December 2022. So December 21, November, December, the price was around here. And then January, March, it should be December, no, sorry. First of all, December 20 now. December 20. December 20, the price is this, around January 20. And in the December 21, the price is lower, even further lower. So we can see that the sale is increasing because of more quantity sold. Can we say? If we correlate the graph of the prices with the data, with the PL account, with the financial statement, first of all, can we come to this conclusion that the prices are lower, so the increase in sales is because of more quantity, more production, more sales quantity. Can we say?
We can say that, sir, because in the other graph also, sir, may say the demand is going up in 21 instead of 20. The first bar graph.
Which bar? No, that bar graph is, you can say that also, because that bar graph is about sales quantity. Not sales quantity, I will say sales value. This is also, they have mentioned $9. So in 20 to 21, the demand for the tea in Northlandia is in place of 200 around 230 or 225. Not for only piping, for others also in total. So we can see from the two graphs and then the figures that the sale is increasing because of increase in quantity. Now, when the quantity will increase, whether the expenditures will also increase. When the quantity will increase, whether the expenditures will also increase.